Hola bestie, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here or you've never seen my face before, my name is Javell Ashanti. I make book related content and I also make lifestyle content, and it's all just so cute. And if you don't subscribe, like, how are you gonna see my content? Come on out. So definitely subscribe to me. And today we have my monthly reading wrap up for the month of July, which I'm so excited for because I read so many freaking second chance romances, and I also read a lot of like summer reads, like beach reads, just give you all like the summer vibes, which I thought was just so fun and entertaining. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more, and without further ado, let's get into the video. First book I'm going to talk about is my favorite book that I read this month, and I will just go ahead and say this is a 5-star read for me. It's such a phenomenal read. This is book 1 from All the King's Men series. It is The Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan, and I just started reading Kennedy Ryan's books a couple months ago actually, but I will say she's 2 for 2 so far. This book is so good. The plot line, the characters, the spice, like everything is just amazing, especially the plot line. Like, it's just insane. But anyway, so this book is about Lennox and Maxim. Lennox is a Native American girl who comes from like a very traditional family, I think you could say, and her mom like randomly goes missing, and that plays a pretty big role in the book. Her mom randomly goes missing and she has no idea what happened to her mom, but also she's like very into protesting, and she's just very like big on politics, I guess you could say. And so one day she meets Maxim when she is protesting a pipeline, and Maxim is the son of like an oil mogul, and his dad is actually trying to build a pipeline through Lennox's like neighborhood that could damage their water. And she meets Maxim there, but she has no idea who he really is, and he saves her life. He basically like help save her, and so at their first meet they have a very strong connection. We're fast forwarding like 4 years later, they meet again in Europe, and they have basically the week of their life. Like, they're just having like this very intense connection, but like a week-long romance situation. Lennox still has no idea who this guy is, and she's like very like attracted to him, and they just have like a very strong connection. When she gets back to America, she finds out who Maxim really is, and now she's like pissed at him because she hates his dad because he's trying to like steal native land to build his pipelines, and she's just very against all of like what Maxim's dad stands for. This book like takes us like 10 years later, and they reconnected again, and it's just him like trying to win her over for like such a long time, and he's just consistently like persuasive, and I don't know, like their romance is just so cute. And you know, I just love the plot of this book because I feel like I've never really read anything that's like super like political but also like romance, and then we get like second chance romance in here, and also like I don't know, it's just like all over, but like it's like in the best way. If you have not read this book yet, please, like, if you don't take any of my recommendations, this is so good and it has so many good quotes in it. And I started tabbing when I was already like halfway done, but it's so freaking good, you guys. Like, I also read a few summer themed books this month because obviously it's July, like we're in the midst of summer, might as well. So I read Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. She is the author of Every Summer After, and I will say, if it's one thing Carly Fortune is gonna give us, she is gonna give us a bomb ass summer themed book, okay? This book made me want to get in my kayak and just paddle off in the middle of a lake with my man. This book is so cute. So it's basically about Fern Burbanks. She is in like the middle of grieving. Her mom recently passed, and so she has to move back to her hometown, and her mom owned a lakeside resort. So Fern basically has to like hit the ground running because this resort needs management. And so Fern is here, and she's kind of having like an internal battle because she's like, this is not her dream of running a lakeside resort, but she's also like having her own dreams of her own, and then also like mourning her mom, so she just has a lot going on. And then this guy that she met like I think like 10 years prior or 15 years prior shows up. He shows up to the lakeside resort, and he's like offering to help her out, but she just doesn't really trust him because he let her down, you know, the years prior. So he shows up, he's there offering a helping hand, and we kind of just get like a past and present moment with, you know, us reading Fern's mom's journal, which that shit made me cry so bad. And then also like getting like the past between like her and Will, and like how they met and stuff like that, and then the present moment with them like reconnecting. This is such a cute book. As you guys know, I'm in mourning right now, like I'm grieving, whatever you want to say, and so this book kind of hit home a little bit too close, but like it's also in the best way possible, which is like so insane because I feel like all the books that I've read lately has been like having parents that have passed, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of sign this is from the universe, but send it back. But yeah, this book had like the main character's mom passed, and I feel like, I don't know, it just touched on those topics with like such a gentle way that made it like very easily consumable, I guess you could say. And so I really like this book, so I rated like a 4.9 stars. Honestly, I could give it 5 stars, but like I'm trying to be stingy. But this book is so cute, it's so fun. My only problem is like I hate the miscommunication trope, or like just characters that don't really speak up or like say what needs to be said. And Fern's like a little bit like that. Like she doesn't really say what needs to be said, or she's just like, oh, I'll say it later, and like, girl, you should know like nothing is ever promised, so you might as well speak up now. But I really like this book. It was so cute, it was so enjoyable, and I feel like the, what's the word I'm looking for, like the imagery that you get from reading it literally makes you want to be at a lake or like in a kayak just paddling down. Like, I don't know, it's just so good. And I love Carly Fortune, and I'm so excited to see whatever else she puts out because she's a phenomenal writer. I also read Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan. She is the author of Nora Goes Off Script, which I have not read Nora Goes Off Script, but after reading this book, I'm like, I might have to. I love her writing style. She's so fun, and like, I don't know, it's just very easily like consumable. This is not a very thick book, so I feel like this is like a really good summer read if you're like going on like a little vacation. You don't want to read like a really big book. This is so good. But this book is about childhood lovers, or like friends, childhood friends to lovers to like enemies, then back to lovers. I don't know if that's even a trope. Yeah, this book is about Sam. Her life's pretty much on track, and she is getting married. She has a fiance, and he's a doctor, which is kind of like every girl's dream, really. And she goes back to like, it's not her hometown, but it's like her vacation home, like her childhood vacation home. And her ex Wyatt is there, and he's like her best friend from when she was a child, and then they eventually became lovers, and then they broke up, and it was like a really bad breakup. But he's there, and he's like playing his little guitar, and she just starts having very mixed feelings between like her fiance and Fort Wyatt, and it becomes quickly like a little love triangle. But I really like this book. It gave us all the summer feels because the main character, she would always go to like the beach because her house is literally like a beach house, and so every morning she's like at the beach with like her younger sister, or even by herself, or with her ex-boyfriend Wyatt. And it's just like such good summer vibes. Like, this made me want to go out and buy a freaking beach house, even though I cannot afford that. But this book made me want to buy a beach house so bad, and just, I don't know, just live life, you know? Such a cute read. It does like a little back and forth where it shows us like the past between Wyatt and Sam, and then the present moment where they're not really on the best of terms, and how she's navigating that, but also like her entire family being there witnessing this mess. I don't know, it's just such a fun read though. I really enjoyed it, and this I would rate like a 4.5 star. Oh my gosh, I feel like this next book is gonna be a 5-star read. I'm sorry. But next book I read is Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. Y'all, I was kind of losing hope in Tessa Bailey because her last book that I read I did not enjoy, but this kind of restored my faith in her. I feel like no book that I've read has captured passion as well as this book has, and it's also like super funny and very like realistic, and so I really liked it. This book is about Natalie and August, and they do not like each other. August is on a mission because his best friend recently died, and so he's on a mission to kind of make a winery, or like have a winery, a successful winery, because that was his best friend's dream. And so he's trying to do that, but he doesn't know shit about winemaking. And Natalie, she's like a wine connoisseur, and also like she's just very wealthy, except they don't like each other, and so they just have major beef basically. But Natalie has a little problem. She wants access to her trust fund, and the only way she can get it is if she's married. So she proposes a plan for August to, they can like fake marry, so she will get access to her trust fund. So they decide to have like a little fake marriage situation, and except they really don't like each other, so it's like very hard. It's just so fun, it's so spicy, and there's just so much passion that I could feel like from the characters, which I feel like a lot of romance books that I have read, which I've read a lot, don't really capture passion that well. But the male love interest usually tries to play it like cool and stuff, but August was very much like, I'm a simp for you and I don't care. Okay, so I really liked it. I would rate this a 5 stars as well. Honestly, Tessa Bailey girl, you did the thing with this. I loved it. And also spice level 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Then I read The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I don't know what kind of like, would this be suspense? I don't really know what category this would go in, but it is a YA moment, and it's about a younger girl who, she's like a teenager, and she comes from like a very poor family. Her mom is dead, I think, and she lived with her sister, and randomly she gets a letter in the mail that's like summoning her to come to a will reading for someone she has no idea who they are. And so she goes there, and it's like a billionaire's will reading, and she gets access to his entire network, and she doesn't even know who this guy is. It's very strange. And his family is there, and they got almost like little to nothing, and she got basically everything from this guy. I guess the will comes with contingencies, so you have to go around and solve all these riddles, but also while people are trying to kill her because she basically just became a billionaire. It's crazy, but it's so fun to read, and it's, I don't know, it's just very interesting. So basically like she has to solve like these little riddles in order to like rightfully claim the money or like the stuff, the properties and stuff that's been given to her. Also like the billionaire's family is like very mad that she's received all this stuff when like she's not even a part of the family, and he has like kids and he has grandkids and he gave them almost nothing, and so they're very mad about it, so they're trying to kill her. So she's basically trying to not die, but also trying to get this money that she like desperately needs. It's such a fun read. I rate this like a 4 star. Honestly, it's really good. It's just like not really my style of book, but I did like it very much, so 4 stars. Alright, next book I read is The Maid by Nita Prose, and this book is about a maid who works at a hotel, and the way she's kind of described in the book, they never really said, but the way she's described in the book is like she's a little bit like socially unaware. She's just a little bit, I don't know, I feel like she's like on the spectrum, so she's just a little bit different from like the regular person. And so one day she's like cleaning her rooms, and she finds a dead body, and the body is of Mr. Black, who's like a wealthy businessman. And when she's being questioned by the police, she was acting a little bit weird, so they assumed she was guilty or has something to do with the death of Mr. Black, and now she's on trial for murder. So everyone in the community, or like everyone that she knows, is trying to come together to help her get out of this because they know like she was not the killer. But it was such a good book. It was such a fun read. They're basically trying to figure out who is the real murderer of Mr. Black. I would rate this like a 4, actually 3.5 stars. Last but not least, the last book I read is The Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I was really excited to read this book simply because the cover is so cute. That's mostly the main reason why I got it, and also the plot sounded really good. So this book is about a friend group who goes on vacation every year together, but this year one of the couples out of the friend group are no longer together, but they told no one. So this entire vacation they have to like fake date. So we're getting like a little fake dating situation in here. We're also getting second chance romance in here, but the entire vacation they have to like fake date because they don't want anyone in the friend group to know that they're no longer together, for a reason that like I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil it, but they don't want anyone to know that they're no longer together. So they're like pretending to still be in love, and while they're doing that, old feelings between them start resurfacing, and like they just don't really know what to do about it. So that's basically the plot of this book. I will say Emily Henry always lets me down. Like she's always like, she has good plots, but like they just never really do it for me. Like they never go where I need them to go. It's always like drinking lukewarm tea. Like why would I want lukewarm tea? So that's basically this book for me. I'm gonna rate it like a 3 star just because I really like the plot line and I really like the characters and they're so lovable, but like it just never really gave what it was supposed to give. So that's pretty much it. That's my July reading wrap up. If you've read any of these books, please let me know in the comments below, or tell me what's your favorite book that you've read this month. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!